The Middle Way Podcast with Pat and Saman.
That friend that just told me his doctor said he couldn't hang out with me, like someone saying their mother said, I can't play with you.
Exactly.
I almost laughed. And so
Daddy's a bad influence.
It's a very bad. He's going to lead you to bad things. And I almost so we were corresponding after, and I was just sending him data. I was saying, no, I'm not anti-vax. And here's just the data about this one. Here's the thing
my vax record. Yeah.
Not interested in the data. Haven't read that. Nope. Have seen that. Nope. Are you going to read it? Nope.
No point. So came from an anti-vaxxer.
I know. Exactly. That's it. That's the quick cutoff is I don't need to look at inconvenient information if I can label the source and discount the source right off the bat.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Some of the kids that I were talking to last week, he said there's a group of 5. He's a 12-year-old boy, and there's 2 of them that aren't injected and 3 who are. And so they're a tight unit. They're like, a Stand By Me group, I think, which is really sweet that still exists. And so their moms, the injected people's moms, categorically told them, don't hang out with little this guy and this guy because they're not injected. Like the parents are throwing this garbage on their kids. And this little boy told me this, and I was like, so I looked at him and I said, so how are you responding to that? Because that's what I care about. And he's like, well, we don't care. We hang out anyway. And I'm like, yes, that's the rebellion that we need.
Absolutely.
Just be yourself. Everything's fine. And I was like, exactly. Are you guys sick? No. So hang out with each other. Do your thing, man.
Yeah. Exactly. Oh, that's good news. It's good to hear that.
Right?
Definitely. Yeah. And there's friends of ours that are just the same way. Like they're fully vaccinated, but they believe in it, but they're kind of like,
they're not in the religion. Yeah.
They're not in the religion. Yeah. It's such a clear distinction from the ones that are and aren't, and you know what, it seems like that. And again, we'll save some of this for the next conversation. I know Saman actually has to probably go in a minute too, but I just leave with this one thought, in that it seems that people respond to the whole situation based on their personal situation. So in other words, if our single friends who got quite lonely in the quarantine phase, some of them are some of the most rabid, double vaccinated. Everybody's got to vaccinate because they felt most isolated.
Interesting.
Yes. So they're like, this, I need to have a social life. Because I'm
so interesting.
Yeah, it's loneliness. One of them just almost erupted one time when we put out, the possibility that, well, maybe there's another way to deal with this. And it's like, no, this is the program. Everybody needs to get on it, or I'm shut in. I'm cut off. Yeah.
Wow.
So I think, and I've observe that kind of reaction. Really, the friend that his doctor, his mommy said he couldn't hang out with me. He's got COPD. Wow. Both he and his wife were heavy smokers for years, so he's really afraid. And what really triggered him in our conversation afterward was when I said, well, looking at the numbers, having double vaccinated isn't preventing you from catching it. You can get it from your family or your kids. So are you protecting yourself around them? And that freaked him out, because again, it's that sense of, I paid the dues, I've taken the vaccine, we've suffered enough. I want my normal life. I want to hang out with my family without masks or concern or where my kids have been. And so it's just, don't take my comfort blanket away.
It's so false though. Wow. When that blanket goes up, wow. Chaos.
Yeah. Well, you're talking about this, the social level that chaos is
Totally.
manifesting on, and the scientific level.
Yeah, I had this weird I have a very vivid imagination because I'm also an artist, and I had this weird vision of this is completely off topic, but on as well, of a divided United States of America where like each state becomes like not just red and blue, but really like their own
Vaccine
country.
color.
Yeah. So like, and the borders around each state would be very, very protected, you know? Because like if there was a state that was like injected, and then there was another state that was like Florida, that's like, you know, just kept doing their thing, man. Then anyway, I don't know why I mentioned that, but I
well, you know, that's why I asked where you were when we started out, not just because of the time difference, but because when I read the University of Texas and thinking that that was you and you're in Texas, I thought, because I was wondering, how is she, if she's in the academic world and she's part of that system, how is she able to speak freely? And I thought, well, maybe, I thought maybe it's because she's in Texas, and Texas is one of those, you know, red states. Exactly.
You can start the interview with me doing that. No, don't do that. Yeah, I'm from Texas. Yeah.
Can you get a cowgirl hat and some guns? Maybe we'll.
I'll have to seek that out. But you know, it's funny. I have all these connections to Texas now. Like Peter McCullough and our like, you know, colleague buddies now, and he's from there. And my best friend who used to live here is from Texas, and she just moved back right before all this crazy chaos happened. And now I've had made another couple of friends from Texas, and it seems like a cool place. You know, they seem to respect things that weren't respect, like freedom and conversation and. Anyway, yeah, I had no impression of Texas before, and now I have all these connections, and I even thought about maybe going there one day when I never thought of that before. It's a huge place.
It's massive, yeah. I've never been either, but I've had friends that have lived and worked down there, and yeah, it's definitely got that sort of frontier, you know, rugged reliance and don't tell me what to do about my life. So yeah,
I can dig that right now.
Yeah, right now we could all use more of that. Yeah. Thank you so much. That was awesome. That was amazing.
It was really
very
good
enlightening. Yes, thank you very much. Yeah.
You're very welcome. I really liked it too. Like a lot of times podcasts end up being kind of like can you tell us about your paper? But this was more important. I think what we did here, it's showing people, us as humans, and, you know, asking each other, like, what's going through our heads, you know, in the context of VAERS or whatever. But still, it's like, there's this guy named Ricky Verandas, who I'm going on his show for the 4th time coming up soon. And him and I, we end up just like shooting the shit, sorry for my language, for like 3 hours straight, because it's just a good time. And he says nobody's ever requested a guest more than you so far on the show, because they love what happens when we get together. Awesome, because we just let it all go, and we talk about like heavy metal music and cats, and we let our humanity out. So I think that's what happened here. So it was really good.
I felt the same. And I think, it's just being real people and having a kind of a fun and a balance. And at the same time, you know, looking at the severity of the issue and just being real with it.
Yeah.
Talking about it. I mean, that's one thing that people aren't doing, talking about it, just genuinely sitting down and talking about it.
Yeah. There doesn't need to be any like polarized anything. We don't need to use this lexicon that, you know, it's been thrown on us, like anti-vaxxer. That stuff doesn't exist. That's all their construct. So like, you know, exactly. We just need to talk.
So yeah, if you're up to coming on again and
Totally.
seeing if we can bring in someone that you can dialogue with, that would be fantastic.
I would love it. Yep.
Yeah.
Just name the date.
Fantastic. Anything, Saman, you want to
Just
cap
again,
things
thank
up?
you very much. Thanks for the time. Thanks for agreeing to swap the hours around. And again, just thank you. Thanks.
You're welcome.
You would have heard more from Saman normally. It's just that there's a bunch of construction outside his building today. So he was biting the bullet and muting his microphone most of the time. So we didn't
All right.
have
So
to hear
next time we'll
Yeah.
let you talk.
I'll sit back and let you guys chat more.
Yeah. I'll ask the questions.
Okay, good. We'll be ready.
All right, good. All right, guys.
Wonderful.
This was
Thank you
wicked.
very much.
Thanks
Have
so
a
much,
wonderful night.
Jessica.
You too.
Bye-bye.
Take care.
Bye.
Bye-bye.